Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Hello, and thank you to all the new Patreon members. I've seen a lot flowing in the last couple of days. I do thank every single one of you for your support. Ledger is having a Christmas holiday sale kind of thing that they have going on. If you purchase a Ledger Nano X, they're now giving away a $25 voucher for free, which then you can use to buy crypto if you do see fit. While this is not a paid partnership, I am an affiliate, and I do have an affiliate link below in the description. If you decide to buy one, maybe click the link, might make your day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it because there's a lot to cover. So, the CTO of crypto market data aggregator Glassnode, his name is Raphael Schütze-Kraft, has described a slew of Bitcoin market indicators as insanely bullish and has predicted prices are set to increase by more than 10 times. On the 9th of December, Schütze-Kraft tweeted a thread providing the basis for his ultra-optimistic prediction, presenting 6 of the 7 most important on-chain market indicators that are currently hovering at the same levels they were at the start of 2017. If you remember correctly slightly, I've been saying this over the course of this year feels like a mimic of 2017. What a lot of the charts have been saying is that apparently we are on the cusp of the beginning of 2017, basically meaning in 2016 we had the halving, same exact thing as this year. What happened was that Bitcoin went from the $200 level where it was in 2016 and rumbled up to roughly around where it was at its previous all-time high before, and then in 2017 the price shot up. So if you use that same exact metric, 2020 halving, Bitcoin went to its lowest low, kind of where it was before in the 3000s, and moved up basically to its previous all-time high, the same exact thing as the beginning of 2017. And then 2017 was the blow-up year, if you will. And this is why we keep hearing all this crazy, fantastic news about what's going to be happening price-wise in 2021. I think I said that clear enough. He said, where are we in the Bitcoin market cycle? A look at some of the most important on-chain market indicators. And then it shows a chart going up, prices, etc., etc. There was not a lot of price news this morning. I saw, as always, a number of price prediction, price predictors, analysis kind of going on as to where Bitcoin's price is going to next, but nothing really concrete outside of that. This one says, market wrap, Bitcoin briefly slides below $18,000 as Ether is more volatile than Bitcoin in 2020. Not sure what Ether being more volatile has to do with anything, but sure, why not? So over the course of the evening and even the last couple of hours, Bitcoin's price has the entire market is really all over the place. I'm not sure exactly what the struggle really is. Bitcoin's price is either at 17,800 something or 18,100, and it's kind of fluctuating back and forth through these numbers. We'll be able to see that in a little bit as we go over the actual prices, but that's it price-wise for the cryptocurrency space. I was expecting to see a lot more as to what was really going on. There's no real indication. I didn't see anything really about the US dollar having a surge in price. The only other thing that's really going around, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says stock market sentiment hitting ludicrous territory, but winnable bulls pay the piper. The entire year, the stock market has been going up. We hit a brand new all-time high on the Dow weeks ago, and I think we also just hit one yesterday as well. Prices continue to go up without actually reflecting the economy. Typically, the idea is people put their money into stocks because they believe that these stocks will do well on a certain basis. It's your confidence in a company that you decide to put your money into. But a lot of the stocks that are going up are either like 5 or 6 different tech stocks. Wow, cool, wonderful. A lot of analysts keep saying that these things are highly overvalued, especially because a lot of these companies aren't actually selling anything. A lot of them are bankrupt, not the mega ones, but a lot of the companies that are like have declared bankruptcy, their stock prices are still rising. So there's no real reality in stocks right now. I saw something yesterday. People were, of course, discussing what the next thing I'm going to be telling you as well. Discussing where the stock market is going in 2021. And there was a huge sentiment like, yeah, I think the Dow is going to be hitting 42,000 next year. And people are like, wow, you know, I think we're going to have these highs for the next 4 years. And I'm like, what? What am I missing? So anyway, the stock market keeps rising. None of it actually makes any sense. I assume, and I've been assuming this for a while, this must be a reflective something mimic of 2008, 2009. Where in 2007, 2006, people kept on saying the stock market's not right. Something is really wrong. It's not reflecting actual, because we already knew at this point that people were being given the what's it called? Those the mortgages that were terrible. I forgot the exact term for them. And then things eventually finally collapsed. The major news, if you will, that was kind of overshadowing Bitcoin's news today was Airbnb's stock finally performed their IPO, their initial public offering, and the stock more than doubled in price. And during even the time when the CEO of Airbnb, like he had to like give like an announcement and stuff like that, he was kind of like stumbling on his words because he also didn't imagine that it would skyrocket in price. But if you've been paying attention to this year, people can't really travel. So maybe the price is just a future estimate of where things could potentially be. But if you've been paying attention, the thing that's going on right now isn't going to end anytime soon. It's not over in 3 months. It won't even be over by next summer. So a lot of stocks are being hyper overvalued. We're seeing this now. Remember at the beginning of the year when everyone was like Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. And now there are a lot of people being like, it's kind of overvalued. So anyway, that's all the price news, if you want to really call it that. The only thing I could find as to why Bitcoin dipped by $300-400 or is continuing within that range is the stock market going up, and therefore people are betting on stocks more than they are crypto at the moment. No real indication. Anyway, that's that news. And let's move on to the even crazier stuff. Crypto asset manager Grayscale has purchased an additional 14,591 Bitcoin worth around 266 million US dollars. I repeat, once again, Grayscale has purchased another $266 million worth of Bitcoin and $58 million worth of Ethereum. Around 105,000 Ether were purchased on behalf of its investors, according to financial reports published this week. The trust issued 15,334 shares at varying prices for an aggregate of 14,591 Bitcoin, representing $280 million. This was said by Grayscale's Form 8K report on the 9th of December. And somebody called Girl Gone Crypto wrote, Grayscale buying another 100K Ether is the most underrated news from today. I think it's all incredibly underrated. I don't understand why this news doesn't cause more excitement within the cryptocurrency space, like just across the board. We get news constantly, and I don't... If you can tell me why, and I mean this in honesty, like please just give me the honest answer. If you don't find this news exciting, can you tell me why? Because I understand what this means, not only on a macro level, but also for like an institutional mindset level. To know that there are companies who are far outpacing you in buying the new asset that could potentially take over the world. But people within the cryptocurrency space seem to almost yawn at it. And I don't know if it's that they don't understand the magnitude of these purchases. Maybe the news is so close together. We relatively get the same exact news every single day. It's not me re-mimicking news or simply putting a new twist on it. Every single day we're either getting news about Grayscale, MicroStrategy, a bank, or some type of a rich person who's just getting into the cryptocurrency space. Maybe it's kind of like, I was discussing this with my friend yesterday. Hello to you. Why I think, and we were talking about why people don't really find these numbers exciting, if you will. I think we're living in a world now where even being a millionaire isn't as exciting because we hear so much about being a billionaire. When you read the news, it's no longer about this guy's worth 5 million, this guy's worth 15 million. Is this guy's worth $800 million and he's going to be worth $1 billion. This guy's worth 14 billion and he's now the 5th richest person in the world. These are the kind of metrics that we have. So even the idea, I remember discussing, this was a while ago, talking with someone about like the idea of having $1 million. And they were like, yeah, it doesn't sound that cool. Like, it doesn't even really last that long anymore. And I was like, where are you living that $1 million doesn't last you? If you put $1 million into real estate, you're getting around $6,000 per month from rent from said apartment that you have purchased. Where can you not live on $6,000 a month unless you are really trying to overextend and live above your means to show everybody on Instagram that you have it when you really don't? So this is when we get news constantly. It's just about twice a week with Grayscale and MicroStrategy. $266 million in one go into Bitcoin is insane. That's a huge amount of accumulation. Keeping in mind, that's 14,591 Bitcoin. There are only 900 Bitcoin made per day. And we know that PayPal and Square, once again, keep hitting it. PayPal and Square alone are buying the entirety of every Bitcoin that's mined per day. So whenever we get news like this, and I tell people, I see sometimes people in the comment section or on Twitter, and they're like, well, sure, why not? And it's like, you don't get this, you don't get all of it. Like when we talk about the supply crunch. Anyway, a day before that, Grayscale disclosed the purchase of over 100,000 Ether, although the document itself was dated on the 2nd of December. So here's the blown up version of their actual trust. It has the assets under management, and then it has the actual shares. So what Grayscale does is that they issue securities, stocks if you want to call them that, and people basically buy them, and they use that money from the purchase to buy Bitcoins. And then you have shares in said company, and that's kind of how it works. And this is why it says like the day change. Like it's not like Bitcoin's daily change, but it's the actual fluctuation within their shares and stuff like that. They hold Bitcoin, Bcash, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Horizon, Litecoin, Lumens, XRP, and Zcash. A couple of weird choices, but I think I don't know how old the actual trust is. I'm going to assume from 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. I assume they only have Bcash because of the actual fork. They probably have Ethereum Classic because of when this split happened. They were, given the Ethereum Classic, what have you. What's a Horizon? Can you tell me what a Horizon is? Don't Google Horizon and then tell me what Horizon is. It's kind of weird that that's in their trust. We've also been hearing before last year that they were selling off a lot of their altcoins to end up pushing into more Bitcoin. So this is why I assume this asset under management is 10,000 million as opposed to just 5 million for Horizon. Litecoin kind of makes sense. And then Lumens and XRP also, sure, why not? And then Zcash is also a kind of a really weird one as well. Here's the actual filing with the SEC for those of you who were curious about it. Sometimes I talk about things in videos and I always get about 5 comments. Well, where's the proof? How do we know that this happened? And it's like, you want to see the actual SEC form? Okay, I got you, bro. Here it is right here. So just so you know that this actually ended up taking place. And there's a little text thing right here, but I'm not opening that on my computer for your sake. Yeah, so every single day we keep getting more and more news like this. It's not going to stop anytime soon. I'm certain that Grayscale is going to own over 1 million Bitcoin by the end of next year. There's just no stopping it at this point. Anyway, that's the news that should actually move the market. But other things move it. So without further ado, let's move on. Also in news that should move the market, but it won't, a Massachusetts-based insurance firm has purchased $100 million worth of Bitcoin. This is now another company who's come out of the woodworks and has purchased a substantial amount of Bitcoin. $100 million worth of Bitcoin for its general insurance account, according to the Wall Street Journal. Mass Mutual, which is not publicly traded, oversees insurance accounts topping $235 billion. It made the purchase through New York-based NYDIG. I believe that's New York Digital Issuance. I forgot the phrase for it. It's a really, anyway, New York is digital. I don't know, something about crypto, which offers cryptocurrency custody and trading services. The insurance firm also acquired a $5 million stake in NYDIG, according to the Wall Street Journal. Here's the actual publication from the Wall Street Journal. It says Mass Mutual joins the Bitcoin club with $100 million purchase. One day, the market will... I think the market has already begun to reflect the purchases that we've been seeing. I think still not... I think we are... I think we should easily be over 23, 24, 25,000 just as like a base. Completely as a base and as a bottom price for everything that's been going on right now. When we get indications that the Fed and other governments are going to continue printing money, devaluing the US dollar, and these companies who are buying up tons of Bitcoin, a very scarce asset, are going to continue doing so in mass over until forever, and then our prices drop, it's kind of weird. But I have been seeing, and this is the really weird part, and you know, I just don't get it. I know someone, and it broke my heart because it just didn't make any sense, but I think this is an actual trend happening right now, who has been selling off his Bitcoin to buy stocks and gold. I'm not sure if I told you all this yesterday. I really don't remember. There's so many things happening at the exact same time, whether it be in life or in the cryptocurrency space. And I think that people are being told that Bitcoin is going to underperform, or that stocks are going to outperform Bitcoin, or that gold is going to outperform Bitcoin, and people are selling off their crypto for this. This is at least what my friend did, and it kind of made me feel a certain way because there's no real logic behind any of that. So just keep in mind what we were talking. Listen, it's your money, do as you please, but I've gotten us this far. Just understand that we are not done moving up in price. Bitcoin is the best performing asset ever, not just this year, but forever, that we've ever had, unless you were able to buy land in the year like 3, you know, buy all of Manhattan or something like that. Anyway, right. They purchased $100 million worth of Bitcoin. It won't move the market immediately, but behind the scenes, institutions will be moving their money to push into Bitcoin, which will then be reflected in the crypto market prices. Is this the same one? Yeah. This is of course very large news, but you know, logic. Also in news that, okay, you'll see. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase listed Filecoin. 2 months after the coin launched on mainnet, Filecoin's price jumped by 3% following the listing to $32. It is available in all Coinbase-supported regions and available at Coinbase's website, as well as Coinbase's Android and iOS app. So they listed Filecoin, and it says the price jumped. Didn't really, because the price actually started falling. And a lot of people are a little confused, perplexed, as to why the price fell. Here's my opinion. Coinbase has recently, like 2 yearly, been adding tons of coins to their platform that no one's really asking for. I've suspected for a while that Coinbase has actually thrown money, speculation, at other projects that they believed would actually take hold in the cryptocurrency space. Filecoin, maybe, not sure, being one of them. You may have realized, especially if you've been here for over 2.5 years, you've seen many times people have been asking Coinbase to add particular coins, and Coinbase goes, cool, we'll do it. The next day, they announced that they're listing 16 coins to their platform, and they're coins that no one has ever heard of. So I think Filecoin is potentially maybe one of those coins. I'm not really sure. I know there was so much hype around Filecoin, and I told you it's just... The entire idea of Filecoin is like an online file storage thing. In like 2014, 15, that was like, wow, that sounds crazy. But we already have tons of, even if they are centralized services, that do the exact same thing. And once again, these are all computers. If Filecoin can do it, and it took them years to finally launch, I can only assume that logically, XRP with another layer or a side chain next to it would be able to do the exact same thing. So would Bitcoin. So would Ethereum. So would every other thing. So there's nothing really spectacular or amazing about Filecoin other than the fact that it's called Filecoin and has been listed by major exchanges. So yeah, I saw a lot of people being like, wow, that's weird that it fell. I think people are still accounting for a, what's it called? The Coinbase effect, which used to be in 2016 and 17. If Coinbase said that they were going to be adding your coin to their platform, the price would skyrocket. And I mean like absolutely explode. But that was also when, you know, we didn't have a lot of coins in the market. And when Coinbase was really particular as to what they were going to add, they had like 4 coins on their platform. They were the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world because Binance hadn't really flourished yet. So anytime they said they were going to add something, it's like, wow, major platform, going to be getting a new coin, and that coin would subsequently pop up in price. But when you have 136 coins on your platform, 4 of which are actually really popular, and you keep adding stuff, no one's really going to care. So always watch out. And I tell you this once again, I saw more news about the Spark token thing, and apparently there's some other airdrop, coin drop, whatever drop is trying to happen also within the next couple of weeks. Just understand that these coins, while they may, M-A-Y, in the future have some type of use case, prospectus, people are getting into them, the trend right now are the major coins in the actual market. It is evident that altcoins will also do very well if we have a parabolic move upward, but only 3 coins are constantly mentioned over and over. You know which 3 coins? I don't have to say them. The other coins are going to do very well as well if we have a parabolic movement, but in the long run, no one's touching this garbage. So that's the Filecoin news, and let's move on. Next up in Banks Love Bitcoin news, on Monday, Wells Fargo, wholly owned subsidiary and registered investment advisor Wells Fargo Investment Institute, published an investment strategy with a page dedicated to Bitcoin. The Institute's contributing author and head of real asset strategy, John LaForge, compared crypto investing to the early days of the 1950s gold rush. This week, John LaForge from the American multinational financial services Wells Fargo published yada, yada, yada. The guide discussed a number of traditional investments and trends taking place in the world of finance, but the 7-page update also commits a whole page to Bitcoin. It said Bitcoin is 2020's best performing and most volatile asset in comparison to equities and other investment vehicles discussed in the strategy update. They all have taken notice in some form or another. Whether if they claim they hate us, they don't like us, they're not using us, no one's going to be using us. They're all obsessed with Bitcoin at this point. I think they've also realized the rarity and scarcity of Bitcoin. And I'm going to assume once again that they're probably accumulating in mass, but you can't say it out loud. If we get proper news, Wells Fargo's writing these things, but has also purchased 20,000 Bitcoin. Well, the bank across the street is also going to try and do the exact same thing, and then they lose their first mover advantage. It's kind of like accumulating as much as you can in silence without other banks or institutions knowing. This is why whenever we do... So first of all, institutions behind the scenes and banks behind the scenes are definitely accumulating Bitcoin. And the speculation right now is that even countries are doing it. I was listening to a podcast yesterday with the Winklevoss twins. You know, they're not my favorite, but they do have, you know, they're in the know. They're in this very wealthy space, and they were like, we estimate that a couple of countries are also silently doing it, and it's just a matter of time before one of them either slips saying that they've done it or basically comes out saying, hey, we have been buying and collecting Bitcoin as well. So, yeah, not really much more to say. This is every day. This isn't an every other day thing anymore. It is every single day. There's a bank talking positively about Bitcoin. There's a rich person talking about that they just got into Bitcoin and everyone needs to be selling off their gold. Or we get Grayscale MicroStrategy, and what was the other one called? We're going to be getting Mass Mutual news, I assume, in the next couple of weeks as well. Fascinating. Absolutely. This has been one of the craziest years. I mean, I'm not like super mega old, but that I can remember. And it's just across the board. Everything that's been happening, whether it be with finance, with life, whole spectrum has been bananas. Let's move on. 3 years after calling Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme, The largest Singaporean bank, DBS Group, has launched a crypto trading platform for institutions. What? A few months following the soft launch of the DBS Digital Exchange, the Singaporean Multinational Banking and Finance Services Corporation announced the release of its digital asset trading venue. In addition, the investment holding company Singapore Exchange has announced it will take a 10% stake in the platform. So they're going to have the Singaporean dollar, the US dollar, the Hong Kong dollar, and the Japanese yen. And they are listing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bcash, and XRP. Bcash is probably being listed once. Listen, pay attention. The reason why Bcash keeps getting listed on every single platform, do you know what this indicates? Do you remember when Bitcoin Cash came into existence? Can anybody tell me the year? It was 2017. If you held Bitcoin, keep this in your heads. If you held Bitcoin in 2017, when Bitcoin Cash came to be and the chain split, you received 2 coins. This means to me every single time that we see, because Bitcoin Cash isn't actually being used. It's being traded quite heavily, but we know that it's not actually being used on a daily basis. Nowhere near even close to where Bitcoin is being used. If I'm not mistaken, I think BSV was the weather app that's only using it, and Bcash was the one where we see the transactions flying through it rapidly, but it's a couple of accounts that are just sending money back and forth, ping-ponging it to each other to look like there's actually more volume than there actually is. This tells me that all these institutions have been into Bitcoin since at least the beginning of 2017. There's no real reason you would add Litecoin has a higher 24-hour volume all the time more than Bitcoin Cash. They're probably adding Bcash because they hold it and therefore they're betting on, you know, if it rises up in price, we still make the money, and they weren't betting on Litecoin at that time. This is happening. Why don't I just read? 3 years after calling Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme. You know what was 3 years ago? 2017. Every single bank that called Bitcoin a farce, a scam, terrible. This year, they've all announced they're buying Bitcoin, they're looking into Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going to outpace gold, or they're starting a cryptocurrency exchange. Doesn't that seem a little weird that every single bank who talked smack before about Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency space, which then stopped probably tens of thousands of people from getting into the cryptocurrency space because people actually follow the sounds and the rules and the things that banks actually end up saying. We spoke about this yesterday when it came to the cryptocurrency space within India. The central bank came forward and they were like, oh, we don't like crypto, it's banned. And then the Supreme Court was like, there's no ban, which means that they stopped tons of people within their country from getting into crypto because they thought it was banned. Same exact thing here. These people know and knew exactly how big Bitcoin was going to become. And this is why when we had news that the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ had been into Bitcoin, which tells me that they were accumulating Bitcoin since 2014 when Bitcoin was $200 or $300. They knew. They all know. There's no longer any confusion ever at all in my mind. When people are selling their Bitcoin, I feel sad for them because they're not getting the actual larger picture. Why would someone tell you 1,500 times that they hate something, but they're buying it? It's because they believe that is going to do very well. And even more so, we're at the point where they can make sure that Bitcoin actually does well, because that's how markets actually work. They know mathematically how much has to be out of the market, how much they have to hold, and other people are probably already holding in order for us to get to those crazy price movements. Why is Citibank talking about that Bitcoin is going to be $300,000 by next year? So anyway, yeah, another bank, another day. This happens all the time. I keep putting it in my videos. There was a YouTuber years ago. I don't remember what channel it was. He used to put the same thing over and over in his video titles all the time. And I remember being like, dude, stop doing that. But then I got it. It made so much sense because he was telling us like over and over. It wasn't a crypto YouTuber. I forgot what the topic was, but it was like this constant rotation letting you know that this was taking place over and over and over. That's why I keep putting in my titles like banks love Bitcoin. Banks really love Bitcoin because they do. They're so obsessed with it. They know that this is going to take over the entire banking sector. Why would you integrate something that you hate? Or even more so, if you want to dig a bit further, why integrate something that you know is going to take over what you're doing? It's because they're trying to find a way to not only to remain relevant, to get super rich, because banks aren't going to have to exist when everything is just running on Bitcoin. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, another bank, largest bank in Singapore, said Bitcoin was garbage 3 years ago. The timing is perfect. 2017, called it garbage, had Bitcoin, listing Bcash, which tells me that they also own Bcash, and they had Bitcoin before the fork happened. It's nonsense. What is this tab right here? Here's the actual press release. I don't even know what you want to call this, but this is from them regarding the matter of their cryptocurrency exchange. Is this also the same? Yep, DBS Bank to launch cryptocurrency exchange next week. Oh boy, man. It just really... every single day. Every single freaking day. And to finish things off, and also news that should cause crypto's prices to continue to move up. The European Central Bank has announced the infusion of an additional 500 billion euros, 600 billion US dollars into the 19 Emergency Purchase Program in its bid to boost monetary stimulus amid more 19. They said all these steps are real central bank engineering, something the European Central Bank Christine Lagarde called recalibration at the October meeting, but no actual stepping up of monetary stimulus. This was said by Karsten Brzezinski of the ING Germany, adding, instead, the European Central Bank's main aim is to extend the current level of monetary accommodation. Thus, the PEPP will be increased by $500 billion to $1.85 trillion, or $2.24 trillion, okay, in total, and will be extended to March 2022. I think I'm exhausted. I feel like, you know, like in the cartoons, like when you see like a balloon that has air in it and it goes kind of like flies away and until the, you know, and then slams back down. I'm just wiped out completely across the board. I hope that every time I make a video that it ties a little knot in your brain for you to understand where this is all going. I hope that all the news that we get stays in the front of your mind consistently. I hope that markets across the board reflect actual reality. Whether that comes to real estate and people not being able to actually pay their rent, to people not being able to pay their mortgages, but real estate in cities still going up despite the fact that people aren't buying anything. I hope that the stock market reflects actual reality of the situation of people not being able to buy things as much. You can buy things online, sure, that's one thing. But for the other 800 companies who are listed, who aren't doing very well, I just want everything to really kind of reflect reality. I want cryptocurrencies to really skyrocket in price, even if it's just Bitcoin. At this point, it is what it is. We know that the world is not doing well. We can all feel it. Whether you decide to shake your head and say no or not, you're lying to yourself. We know that economically, things are bust. Things are crumbling. Things are falling apart. We know that tons of money is being printed to be pushed into markets to keep them afloat. And I just want to make sure always that everyone out there understands where this trend is going, where it's moving to. I will try to recommend podcasts for you. I keep telling you to do all your own research, whatever I can do, even just me making videos daily to let you understand the movements of the market and where things are probably going to be within the next 4 to 8 years. Yeah, not really much more to say on that, but this is every single day that we keep getting news like this. So it's more so me trying to not tell you to keep the faith It's more of a just understand where this is going. I've been telling people about crypto and Bitcoin for a very long time. The first thing that really got me into Bitcoin was the head of Virgin Atlantic. He had a meeting. This was years ago, and I mean years ago, on his private island, and he had invited a whole bunch of Bitcoin developers to his island. This was, I don't remember what year this was. And I remember sitting there. I forgot what website I was on, what news I was reading, but I read it and I was like, I've heard of Bitcoin before. Like, what is this thing? And it hit me like an actual kamehameha, like a ton of bricks just slammed onto me. And I was like, why is this billionaire on his private island with people, you know, from this industry? And they showed them they were all, you know, having fun and yeah, you know, all these crazy photos. And I started digging further, and Bitcoin was like $200 back then. I didn't take advantage of the price as much as I wish I had, but yeah, just everything. I don't know. Once again, I can't tell you what to do with your money. I really sometimes wish I was able to, but you know, for reasons, etc., just always do your own research. I've seen people in the comment section in the last couple of days being like, I'm doing it. Dude, I'm doing my own research. Thank you. Like, really thank you, because the news I give you is always just a sliver of what's going on. Dig deeper. Find out more of what's happening, because if this is the news that we're getting, you have to understand that this is all the news that we're not seeing behind the scenes of actual accumulation and where this is going and all the money that's being put into this and the conversations that are being had. And yeah. Make sure my phone was actually on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Crypto Stahl, George Montoya, Wiselink not TMI, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moher Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jimmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arfmedic17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a new Patreon member. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone out there for being here through this ridiculous year, man. I mean, it is anybody else excited for the new year? Like, it's really weird, and I know that not much will change, but it's like this mental kind of turnover just to be done with the entirety of this year, because it's too much at this point. At the moment, Bitcoin is down by 2.98%. Is at 17,750. See the movements? It's nuts. But all the coins are following the general same trajectory as Bitcoin. Litecoin is down by 6%. Lumens is down by 8%. I assume the hype after the announcement has, dwindled down a bit. But in situations like that, like, we know for certain that the bank is going to be using Lumens or the Stellar Lumens blockchain. So there's no real problem there. There's always a hype bump and then a subsequent fall down. NEM is finally down by 10%. It made no sense why it was climbing so high for the last couple of days. Ave's down by 11. You've noticed that a lot of the DeFi news has dwindled, right? And that's because prices are down. People only talk about DeFi when prices are going up, because it's a very easy way to get you hyped into the market. If people tell you, look how great this is doing, they don't slide out to show you that no one's actually using the coin, or that is just being used for yield farming so that people can make more money. We've had about 7 or 8 different coins during the course of this year that were all DeFi, that were called amazing, spectacular, cool, and the revolutionary new thing. And then a new coin came out, and that one was kind of pushed to the side, and everyone's like, well, look at the brand new one. Look how much money you can make with that one. So I tried warning everyone, just, you know, keep your head up, if you will. Yearn is down by 11. Kind of is what it is. Uniswap is down by almost 10%. Nothing too insane. Like, there's no, like, down by 38% coin at the moment. I think the coins with lower liquidity, lower 24-hour volume are going to not be doing as well during a downtrend. But yeah, we'll see where the weekend brings us. One day, the news will reflect perfectly into the cryptocurrency market space. But if nothing else, I like numbers. I like that we are getting the numbers. I like to have the information that companies are buying massive amounts of Bitcoin. Whether that excites you or not doesn't really matter to me in the actual long run, because I know that this will be quite substantial when we start talking about the first trillionaires and the multi-hundred billionaires and stuff like that, and these companies that were relatively obscure who are worth an enormous amount of money. That's when everyone's eyes will kind of perk open. But until then, I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be on this planet. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. I can't really tell you to go outside and have a walk anymore. It's freezing, so make sure you're at home doing something fun, video chat with friends, whatever you need to do to brighten your day, make sure you do it. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.